Hello everyone, I'm CoolGuy, welcome back. The Dawning has returned, and with it, there's a new fusion rifle, the Glacioclasm. We also have a cold front avalanche coming back with some new perks. But I think this fusion's here to stay for a number of reasons. In this breakdown, I want to talk about what roles to look for and the performance so far. There's some interesting things about it, and to obtain it, I actually got my first one from the first step, and a lot of people have too. You get all the ingredients delivered to Zavala, and the first one drops. I'm sure more random drops are going to come later on once the main quest line is completed. Mine dropped with Ambitious Assassin and High Impact Reserve, so let's get into it. At first I was concerned when I first saw it, because fusions have a base 1.5 times zoom. The Glacioclasm has a base 1.6, meaning it has a little bit of range built in. And with optics, the more zoom factor that you add can add on a little bit of range. Now, they severely nerfed what range is tied to the zoom factor in the past, but it never hurts because it's going to add just a little bit now. But since it has this little bump into the base zoom, tad bit more base zoom built in, it would feel off because it doesn't have a longer scope. It has that built-in close zoom. This isn't the case. It performs fine. It hits the shots it should hit. Also, I did work on fusions not too long ago. I've been kind of studying the archetype. I developed this chart. This is how range works for them, and this is still in play. Glacioclasm is a high impact void fusion, slow firing, high damage, more accurate when stationary and aiming down sights. And a quick note, when the aggressive frames state this, high impact frames, you need to be crouched. That's what they mean by stationary, and I wish that was included in the text. But this frame has a high base range, and they're going to be right at the cap. Glacioclasm falls right here, like the rest. It has a base range of 67. It's already there. You don't need to do anything. It's already at the cap. Keep that in mind. So in this review, stability perks are going to be brought up a lot. Handling, recoil direction. It's going to hit that max damage for 48 per bolt, then carry for 7 meters of fall off, and then hit a floor of 24 damage per bolt. Now the floor means that once you're out of range, it could be 30 meters, could be 100 meters. If a bolt lands, it's always going to do 24. It's going to do 25 with liquid coils. And again, this is a void high impact. A lot of Nezracs and Voidlocks woke up very happy today, and I feel it's going to be a part of the Nezrak loadout. It's also worth noting that this is one of the very few high impact fusions in the entire game right now. Glacioclasm has a 1410 cap, season 15. Alatha, solar. Gallant Charge, solar. Those are season 12 at a 1260 cap. This one's gonna be around. And then of course Merciless, and by the way, Voopers. I'm seriously considering making another video about Merciless. All I can say is try it. Something is up with it in a good way. Extremely consistent, just trust me. But moving back to Glacioclasm, it has really good base stats for a high impact fusion, 78 recoil direction, 10's a little bit right, 36 stability, a high handling of 40, 55 aim assist. And while on this subject, out of all legendary high impacts, the Glacioclasm has the best range, handling, and stability. It has top of the line stats. We have a locked in zoom, it hits the range cap, so we're really interested in now cleaning up the recoil, adding stability and handling, things like that. With 78 recoil direction, you can max it out with Arrowhead Break, and Arrowhead also gives plus 10 to handling. Honestly, base is fine as you've been seeing, but with Arrowhead, it has these special shots that sometimes are just near perfectly vertical, and this is without crouching. I wouldn't shy away from it, and since we're also looking for that consistency, Arrowhead can bring that out. There are various barrels, small bore for a little bit more range and stability, fluted for handling, and again, honestly, since it's hitting the cap, I would focus on that stability, handling, and recoil direction. This thing isn't like the old school air until. You're not going to be mapping people with it. It's near perfect for the range that fusions have right now. I would focus on getting those bolts on target clean. For the battery, the magazine, we have accelerated coils. I would stay away. It's a personal preference though. This decreases the impact damage. You use these high impacts for their damage and their consistency. You don't want to mess with that. At least that's my opinion when using these. There's magazine batteries like Enhance, that's more of a PvE thing. Repeater for stability, and my personal favorite, liquid coils. It's got a slower charge rate, but higher damage. The floor jumps to 25, the regular bolt jumps to 49. And with that 7 meter gap of range fall off, all the little damage numbers start adding up when you're adding on 1 per bolt that you didn't have before. For the perks, we have interesting options. Ambitious Assassin, it has a place in PvE, reloading after kills, grants a larger magazine size. Slide Shot, S tier for it. Sliding partially reloads the magazine and gives a temporary boost to range and stability. And you have to remember, this goes hand in hand with the frame. Knee slide into the shot, you get more accuracy from being crouched from the frame, you get slightly more range and a tighter grouping. It's really good. We have Under Pressure, another great fusion perk, better stability and accuracy as the magazine gets lower to land those bolts. We have Surplus, this is going to be a dark horse. This to me is one of the best perks in the game. For each ability that is charged, melee, grenade, and class ability, you get big bumps to your handling, stability, and reload. With max ability charges, it's going to feel like it has snapshot, it's going to reload fast and have a tight grouping, so look out for it. We have field prep, more reserves, and an outlaw style reload if you reload while crouching. It's a great perk. Killing Wind. Final blows grant increased mobility, range, and handling for a short time, so hard stop. This is going to be a great perk for it. I'm going to put it up there in the top 2, and this is the #1 perk I'm looking for in perk 1 for my personal PvP role. After a kill, you get a faster strafe speed, you get fast handling like you have snapshot, and a boost to your range, and the range that it gives will go past the optimal range cap. Just a little bit past it. But a big thing, as I've talked about before, a hidden perk to Killing Wind is it grants accuracy. It decreases bloom as it's activated. And when you're shooting high impact fusions, you're charging at the hip, keeping your field of view. When the shot's ready, you aim down sights and let it go. And with high impacts, for consistency, I highly recommend that you do crouch on that shot. That way you get the benefits of the frame. So even with Killing Wind, you can do your fast strafe, left to right, get the bonus to range accuracy. When the bolts are ready to come out, do a quick crouch for the shot. And since you have Killing Wind, since it gives accuracy, if you have to, if things are sticky and you're in a tight situation, you can be confident strafing and shooting. On to the second perk node, Demolitionist. It's a great perk for a lot of reasons. One, it gives grenade energy, great for stasis or any build. And when you throw that grenade, it reloads your weapon, top tier. Surrounded, it's good. More damage when surrounded by enemies, PvE for sure, it's situational in the Crucible. Unrelenting, rapidly defeating targets, gives health. Now, this is going to be player preference, and honestly to me it's weapon based. I like it on primaries. Very few energy, it's going to be up to you. Swashbuckler, one of the true damage dealing perks that we have for Glacioclasm, stacks to a ×5, immediately goes to ×5 when you melee a target. And that melee has to be a final blow. After a kill, in the Crucible, it's going to make all the next targets be a 4-bolt kill, and that goes a long way in PvP. Autoloading holster, it has a place, but with Demo there and the other perks, it would be very build specific. And then finally we have high impact reserves, that's what you've been seeing. As the magazine gets lower, the bolts deal a tad bit more damage. This is enough to get 4-bolt kills. So okay, great perks, great base stats. It's going to depend on how you like to play. For PvP role recommendations, we have Killing Wind with Demolitionist, Swashbuckler, or high impact reserves. Getting that kill just boosts you up because of Killing Wind. That second perk is going to depend on what you want. Do you want more grenade energy, or do you want more consistent 4-bolt kills? That's going to be player preference. We have Slide Shot with Demolitionist, Swashbuckler, or high impact reserves, Under Pressure with Demolish, Swashbuckler, or high impact reserves, and then Surplus with Demolish, Swashbuckler, or high impact reserves. And if you noticed, second column we left out Surrounded, Autoloading, and Unrelenting. And the reason being is bang for your buck in the Crucible and overall usefulness. It's going to really depend on if you want to go for the 4-bolt kills or you want the grenade energy. And in that first perk column, it's going to depend on if you want movement with Killing Wind or a tighter shot with Under Pressure, Slide Shot, or Surplus. There's no wrong way, there's just the right way for you. On to PvE, Killing Wind, Slide Shot, Surplus, Under Pressure, they can work, but for PvE specific builds, look out for Ambitious Assassin with Demolitionist, Surrounded, Swashbuckler, or Unrelenting. I would personally go with Demolitionist because you're going to be getting kills. After reload, you're going to get a larger magazine because of Ambitious Assassin, and there's going to be more than enough kills to fully recharge your grenade. So if you can't reload, you have Demolitionist. You can throw the grenade and refill the fusion. Unrelenting for mowing through ads and staying alive, and then Surrounded or Swashbuckler is going to be for extra damage. Next is going to be Field Prep, and it's going to be paired with the same perks. Deeper reserves, that goes a long way in PvE, fast reload when crouched, it works well. Glacioclasm feels good so far. The Dawning just started, more roles are going to be coming out that we're going to obtain, and I do plan on grinding out more roles. The role that I want is going to be Arrowhead Break, Liquid Coils, Killing Wind, and Demolitionist. And I'm fine with a stability, handling, reload. It could be any masterwork. Mostly I want stability though. If I don't get Demolitionist, I can sub that out for Swashbuckler. But I do want to get something similar and use it. I think Fusion mains are going to like this one. There's something about that 1.6 times zoom and the scope that it has. It feels great. I like it more than the Elatha, and that Fusion had a number of good perks and good scopes. And that says a lot, time's gonna tell. If you're new here, remember to hit the subscribe button, and if you are subscribed, thank you so much for your support. If you look for a new controller, I am partnered with Scuff Gaming. Use the link down below and my code COOL at checkout for a discount. What role did you get as your starting role, and what perks are you looking for? Thank you for watching, and until the next one, I am CoolGuy.